And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fresh Air Podcast, man. It is Money Monday. We're here with the Crypto Bros. Let's get into it.
Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Charlie and Miguel, welcome back to Fresh and Fit. How you guys doing, bro?
Oh, we're doing great. Thanks for having us again.
What's up, G?
We did a fire show yesterday as well, crypto. But what's happening, man? What's new with you guys?
Well, I mean, today, I think when the last time we were on the stream, right, we were talking, and I had the Bitcoin chart just pulled up on my phone. I wish I could have shared it. We'll probably be able to pull something up here today.
Yeah, we can pull it up.
But I was saying that one of the daily candles, I think it was for last Thursday, had like been sold off down into support and then got bought back up again. And I said that's usually a sign that, you know, basically there's not much more sell pressure and we're probably going to start going up, especially if we start hitting certain resistance levels. And today, I mean, the price on Bitcoin went from that around that 105,500, which it was at when we were on the show on Friday, to 108, 109,000. It only really needs to break about, I would say, 109,500 to 110,000, maybe 111 would be obviously very good confirmation. But once we get those prices hit in terms of daily closes, then we're probably going to start going up to like $115,000, $117,000, and that's when all the altcoins start moving as well. So I think we were kind of talking about it on Friday, but it's kind of the counter trade to the war, right? And I know a lot of people sometimes aren't used to like, hey, there's stuff going on in the world. How does that affect markets? And sometimes they're not used to stuff. Well, I mean, they're used to gold, which basically
Store value.
is a store of value, goes up and does well when there's times of crisis, obviously. And Larry Fink from BlackRock's been building that narrative on Bitcoin since about 2022, 2023, because they knew they were going to get into the ETFs. So I think the counter trade to any global volatility this year, both in terms of economic volatility as well as geopolitical, is Wall Street's choice is Bitcoin. And so we're going to start seeing that, I think. And people will be kind of shocked. I think there was somebody in the chat that said, you guys are trading crypto when there's war going on? You guys are fucking insane.
War
right?
profiteers. That's correct.
And it's like, yeah, Bitcoin is that nice hedge against all that type of volatility. And so I think this is going to be the first one where on the world stage people will finally see that.
Because you can't really turn it off. It can be traded 24/7, 365. If people need to move a ton of money over, like if they just need to run away, move. I mean, I've always thought if China ever imploded, a lot of money will be smuggled through Bitcoin, Ethereum, and just stable coins. Mostly through Bitcoin and Ethereum, because with stable coins, they could freeze your money if they find out, you know, it's from illicit activities or just anything in general. But you know, we're starting to get a little bit of action in the markets right now because, you know, Coinbase, along with a bunch of other companies, have filed something called the S1, which is basically Coinbase is filing in a Solana ETF, which we've said was going to happen.
Yeah, they've already filed their ETF applications a while back for spot Solana ETFs,
Correct.
but there wasn't any urgency by the SEC to basically go ahead and approve those. Now they said the SEC, whenever they say, hey, just refile your S1, what it basically means is like if you all refile and everything, then we're pretty much going to approve it, because when that happened for Bitcoin, that happened on October of 2023, and then Bitcoin spot ETF was approved by January 10th, 2024. So within about 3 months. So it kind of starts the hourglass time countdown for Solana for that spot ETF to get approved. If Solana spot ETF gets approved, it's likely the staking ETF for Ethereum is going to get approved. And then also on July 2nd, there's a deadline, final deadline for a basket of coin ETFs. So it's Ripple, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few others that are going to be in that basket. If that gets approved, then it's like, well, why aren't all these other coins approved? And so then come October, November, when the final deadlines come for the other ETFs for SUI and other cryptocurrencies, those ones then will start to get approved as well. So right now, you from that, right, you had the rumor speculation 3 months before Bitcoin got its ETF for all that accumulation. Then it actually dipped when the ETF came out. And then we ran for 3 more months. So we had about a 6-month bull market in terms of like just craziness in the market. So I think that's where we're starting now. We're starting the speculation now. Then the Solana ETF gets approved in July, August, maybe September at latest. The other ETFs, one of them gets approved maybe in July, and then other ones get approved in October, November. And like that just is like enough, what do you call it, ammunition for crypto to kind of just like people will be constantly buying, especially from Wall Street between now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because I can see a trend where the big players are actually going to buy gold and Bitcoin.
Yep.
Like, they're stocking up on that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also right. This is something that Charlie brought to my attention that so we had essentially a Bitcoin ETF that was essentially like a stock, right, which is like MicroStrategy, and it was basically what's happening is that the SEC is getting worried that if they don't start releasing some of these ETFs for these other coins, very rich people will just buy a shell corporation that's on the NASDAQ or something, or the S&P 500, or figure out a way essentially to take a corporation and just basically lever it up where it's essentially just an Ethereum ETF.
Yeah.
Levered out ETF or
brute force ETF.
Yeah, brute force ETF. That's what Michael Saylor did with like MicroStrategy. When Bitcoin goes up, it goes up more because it's like they're borrowing money to buy more Bitcoin, and every time the stock goes up, they borrow more money from the stock to buy more Bitcoin, so they end up owning more Bitcoin. So it also drives up the price of Bitcoin too. So it's kind of I wouldn't say Ponzi-ish, but like in a way it sort of is, because they're using a lot of leverage, and they're afraid that like the SEC, even though the SEC is very pro crypto, they're afraid like, oh shit, if this becomes a trend, then we'll have a ton of leverage. Maybe Charlie will tell you what the Joe Lubin a little bit with what happened there with the corporation he was trying to do, but that you'll end up having 10 or 15 corporations where they're just the cryptos keep pumping, and then they keep borrowing more money, so it can make the market very levered out.
Yeah.
Just because they have access to all this cheap capital from the stock market. Buy these low cap cryptos, keep sending them higher, and then just manipulating and then finding ways to essentially, because they know when to buy it because they be able to long it essentially, and just keep so it becomes this huge thing until eventually, bam,
and
something breaks.
And so you want to pull out the Bitcoin chart now, or?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Like,
I mean, I know you. We'll just have it on the side in case they need it. That's all.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add on to what he was saying there, because it's a lot of there's a lot of bullish news in crypto right now. There's just a lot of stuff going on. And the SEC, when they see a company like this, so MicroStrategy did that for Bitcoin before the spot Bitcoin ETF. This company called SharpLink is the one that Joseph Lubin, he's an old Ethereum OG. He helped basically it start up in the early days. He owns Consensus, which is one of the biggest crypto organizations out there. They own MetaMask, which is one of the biggest wallets as well. And so he was like, okay, we're going to take this SharpLink company. We're going to make not because we already have the spot Ethereum ETF, but they wanted it with staking. And so they basically said, okay, we're going to push this staking one forward. And then the SEC was basically like, well, we don't want that to become a trend where a bunch of crypto companies just start zombieing out like different organizations, because they bought over the board. Basically, he's on the board now, and kind of BlackRock strategy, right? And so they don't want that to happen. So that's why they're like, refile your S1s for Solana. We'll get those done, and then they're basically working their way down that throughout the year. But there's a lot of speculation. Will that work for something that is not as scarce as Bitcoin? I think the SharpLink stock went from like $30 to $90 on the first few days of trading, and then it crashed back down to 30 basically. So it'll be an interesting experiment to see how that works out. But they're basically like, let's find as many ways to get people to buy Ethereum and stuff before the end of the bull market, so that way we can get price to go up. Yeah,
and then like if you look at it, right, the top holders of it, like in terms of organizations that hold Ethereum, the Ethereum Foundation, the corporation Charlie was just talking about, the Pulse Chain, like Sack Wallet. So there's like a whole list of like the top holders now, and like people are starting to accumulate Ethereum now. That's why like it's starting to move a little bit more. Like if Bitcoin pumps, Ethereum starts pumping the same or even more now. And like now Vitalik has kind of changed his tune a little bit. He fired a lot of people from the foundation, just basically old heads, guys who've been around too long, they've been rich too long. And it's like, let's get some new blood in here, and we need fresh ideas, and we're going fresh ideas, right? But we need to start we need to get away a little bit from the L2s. And like, because I'm pretty sure someone's going to ask, like some of these L1s and L2s haven't performed, like they've done okay, but they haven't done crazy. And one of the reasons for that is because Ethereum is really like the actual like powerhouse of all of crypto. Now, and I mean that without like Bitcoin's like a reserve currency. It's our gold. It's our, long term. You buy a Bitcoin, if you can put it away, you'll be worth millions of dollars one day, right? But Ethereum, the higher the price of Ethereum goes up, the more everything, everything from like Arbitrum, OP, Matic, Pulse Chain, Sonic, Solana. It's because you can move Ethereum into any chain, because all the tech that we use in crypto. So there's like the tech for crypto not to be fucked with comes from Bitcoin, but all the evolution of the rest of the tech where you can move your money, use bridges, borrow money, use dexes, make meme, it all comes from Ethereum. It's all Ethereum.
Yep.
So this is why Ethereum is literally like, there's only two blue chips, in all of crypto. It's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Even though the Bitcoiners hate fucking hearing that, it's the absolute truth. This is why Ethereum was the only other one to get a spot ETF, and it's very close now. So,
but isn't Bitcoin old technology? It's like old.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's bad technology. It's like it's revolutionized. I mean, like basically, no one can take your money.
Right.
You can send your money anywhere across the world. It doesn't turn off. There's people mining Bitcoin all over the planet. Like someone said something really stupid in the chat. If electricity goes out, there goes crypto. Well, there goes the rest of the planet too. You don't understand. If there's a solar flare that go like from the sun that goes out and knocks out all technology, the whole world's got problems. How many people are going to die in hospitals?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people? I mean, like your cell phone's if there's really a solar flare, right? EMP, right? Your cell phone's dead. Most of the pictures you've ever taken are dead. The cloud's gone. Almost all tech's gone, basically. We have to rebuild it all. Telephone wires are all fried, and it's happened before. I think it happened in the 1800s. Like there were, I think there was like sort of like those little like kind of Morse code sort of towers, like they all got fried out through like a solar flare one time in the past. I think it was like in the 1800s and stuff like that. But the tech was barely being built, so it just got rebuilt really quickly. It was kind of no harm, no foul. But like if it happened today, it'd be a major problem. But we'd have huge problems across the planet. It would be, we'd have more problems. The stock market would be tanking like crazy. Crypto would be hurting, but crypto would survive too. It's still, there's backups everywhere, and people are putting things in place to protect it. There's always one crazy motherfucker in a van that'll run a node, So. But it's the same sort of thing. It's just like, what do you think is going to happen with crypto? World War III starts, dog. If World War III starts, we got bigger problems.
Issues.
We got bigger problems, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to do the phone lines for you guys in the chat as well.
Yeah, so you guys can actually get questions and stuff like that, right? Give you kind of an overview of what's going on in the market. But, obviously the best thing here is to answer your guys' questions. Call to the show, 646-490-0394. You get access to Charlie and Miguel and ask them your questions, guys. So, also, just so you guys know, course is out. It's going to be open for how much longer?
Until the 23rd, so a week.
Okay. It'll be open for a week, guys, so get in while you guys can, man. A lot of you guys messaged me after the fact, bro, can I get in? Are there any more spots? Bro, and it's closed. So let's go ahead and hit the phone lines. Again, 646-490-0394 is the number to call into the show, man. You guys have any questions or whatever, the way we'll do it as usual is if you super chat in the last 4 digits of your number, that will help you cut the line. And then, we just work our way down from there.
Don just said Judas got paid with crypto. You funny, bro. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Who got paid?
Judas, like back in the day.
Oh.
Judas Iscariot.
You got paid with silver?
Yeah, no, he said with crypto, but it's silver, yeah. It's funny. All right.
But if you want to jump on some of the charts, I can show you guys kind of where we're thinking.
Oh, yeah, they're right here. We got it.
Oh, are they up right now on the screen?
Yeah,
okay.
you can see on the left.
up.
We can show it up right now.
Let's go. Cool.
Yeah, if you want. And Mo, could you also pull up this website called what do you call it? BitcoinMagazinePro.com.
BitcoinProMagazine.com.
Yeah.
BitcoinMagazinePro.com.
Bitcoin Magazine.
Or just Google that, and then I think it should come up. But for Bitcoin right here, I mean, it's been a nice ride.
Chart. What a pretty chart, huh?
Yeah, not bad. Up and to the right, right? But what you're seeing there is Bitcoin's entire history.
The all-time is 107 or 108?
111.
111. Okay.
111 is the all-time high. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're right there. But look, this is the entire history from making a fraction of a penny to $108,000, $106,000 asset class. Like, I mean, $2 trillion.
Imagine if you sold for some pizza. Yeah, I'll be pissed, bro.
That's what I think. I think that's $1 billion now.
It is $1 billion.
I think it's $1 billion. Yeah. Like, you can scroll. You can actually scroll down on this website right here. Like, scroll down. There is on. It might be on the right-hand side or the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's on the way left-hand side, I think.
Yeah, on the way left-hand side. You can actually type in Bitcoins and it'll tell you how much dollars. Like, put $10,000 there.
At the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, at the top for the Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoin.
Oh, 10,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, a billion. Yeah.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. He was doing it as a weight because he wanted to prove you could buy stuff with it. But he's like, yeah, dog, I should have kept some of that. And then the guy he sold the pizza to, the dude sold the Bitcoin off. Fuck you. Oh my God.
Yeah, when if the guy, what do you call it, had that much Bitcoin just to spend on pizza, he had that was just his pocket change. That guy's probably just fucking loaded. But
I'd be telling two people, no, I sold it all. I don't have any more Bitcoin left. Why would you want to be? If you have that much Bitcoin, you don't want to be a target.
No,
yeah,
You're
exactly.
a massive target.
And Mo, did you find that website or?
Yeah, we're just still sharing the screen.
Okay. Yeah, if you could pull that one up, I want to. There's just one specific thing I want to show, in terms of like why we're targeting certain numbers. But yeah, pretty much 150,000 plus, or about 160,000 plus, is a number that we're if Bitcoin gets into a bull market the way it has gone the last few cycles, it should get above that price. If you go to charts, go to Bitcoin charts. Just hover over it. There you go. And then let's see. In the search metrics on the top left, just type in golden. Just type in golden and see. There we go. That one right there. Just There you go. So this is a really simple chart. And then Mo, can you just it allows you to make a box. Could you make the box over the bottom? Yeah, right there. Right. Press right there. Oh no, go down and to the right. And then up about 2022 until now, basically all price action. If you could kind of there you go, perfect.
Yeah.
And then make it. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of the website's a little wonky. Yeah, get a little closer to it. There you go.
You said 2022?
Like from $1,000 price level, you're right on time. You're correct on the time frame, but you have to go up right.
Yeah, right there.
Right there from 1,000.
22.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. I wasn't sure all the way to current price. So okay.
We got professionals over here at Fresh and Fit.
All right.
Big
So
Mo.
you can see the yellow line there is your 350-day moving average, which all that means that's your average price over pretty much the last 1 year, right? And when we're in a bull market, that area is always the cheapest price to buy Bitcoin. So you can see that Bitcoin hit that in October of 23.
Yep.
Right, and that was when the Bitcoin spot ETF S1 filings
October.
happened.
What day in October is 2023?
Early October. But yeah, if you go, you can kind of see October
You see where it
there
almost touches the gold line right there on the left-hand side?
on the very left,
Go
right
down.
there.
No, go down. Right. So follow that line.
and then go to October of 23.
A little more head. Right there.
Right about there. It got close to the yellow line, right? It didn't quite touch it, but it got right there.
So this is
So
a
October
really
7th. Look, it went up from the conflict. If you guys notice,
Mm.
like yeah,
Uh-oh.
like it's been going up since.
Yep.
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 It's been going up. Like it's been going up since the conflict in the Middle East, because that's when everything kicked off, and it's just been going up and up and up since then, man.
The great
Yep.
noticing.
And you
Yes.
notice the last two times it touched the yellow line, right? That was the best price of the bull market. So this is one way, what do you call it? You'll know you're in a bear market is if you start going significantly below that line, right? The other thing on the opposite end of it, if you go to the top line there in April of 24, that
So
where it hit the red line.
right there.
Yeah, right about there.
Right there. Yep.
That was a local top for that a year. We had that 6-month altcoin season from October to March. It's basically the same setup as what we're experiencing right now. So we expect a similar type of price movement. So if you go and hover over, where is the red line as of today? Can you hover over that? So that red line, basically it's the 1 year moving average times 2. And that one is at 166,000. So what has happened every single bull market, like I would say the local tops are between the green and red lines. So that's one good area to kind of consider taking profits if you got in when the prices were cheap, right?
Yep.
And you can use the price of Bitcoin to basically understand when you should be doing certain things with altcoins. When should you be buying? When should you be selling? Because they'll generally be somewhat correlated and track Bitcoin, right? And so that 166,000 at the top of every bull market where we've had the over speculative top, you can basically go above that 350 moving average times 2, which is the red line. For back, I can't remember how many bull markets back, but a few bull markets back, it was like above that line for 9 months. Then the next bull market, it was above there for 6 months. The last bull market, it was above there for like 3-4 months. So I expect if we get the crazy speculative bull market that we've gotten on Bitcoin every single time and the rest of crypto, we should go above that red line for about 2 months before the end of this year. So that's 166,000 now, but it's going up at about a $5,000 to $10,000 clip per month.
Yeah. So
And so then you can extrapolate out how, if we get a top in August, what would that price be? It'd be a blow off top of like 160 to 180. If it happens in January and we get like a lot more stuff happening that's bullish for crypto, then that top could be like 225, 250,000. So
the longer this runs, the more chance we have for Bitcoin to go way higher in price.
correct. And so this is like a really simple tool that you can use to.
This is sauce. This is sauce right now. It's not.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't just trade just 100% based off of this.
You don't use one metric. You want to use confluence over many metrics.
Right, but it's a really good tool to just look at like, hey, this is
It's
really
simple to
awesome.
understand.
Yeah, it's just so it's like it's a one little thing. You know what? It's touching the red right now. You know what? Let me just take a little off the table. We never tell people to sell everything.
And where we're at right now, we're between that yellow and green, which means we're basically a fair price for
Good price.
Bitcoin right
So
now.
basically, war isn't a bad thing.
No.
Yeah.
It's usually opportunity because usually the war will cause the price to go down. That's a buying opportunity, and then people figure out, oh, we overreacted. It pumps back up. You're back in profits, and then as time goes on, as things normalize and things become, because even though the Ukraine war was horrible, right? Like we got kind of used to it essentially, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same sort of thing. Like initially, we're gonna be listening. This is gonna be kind of not old news, but it's just not going to hit as much in terms of the global markets get used to it. As long as maybe oil doesn't completely spike to craziness and last for like we don't have $200 oil, for a whole year or anything like that. The markets are going to do pretty well over time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of military spending that'll happen too.
Right.
Yep. And we teach stuff like this in the course, like simple concepts. We basically okay, what's this data based on? That data is mainly based on moving averages, which is a technical analysis type tool. That website has a lot of absolutely free on-chain data tools as well. And then we just teach you guys from basics, right? Like we tell you first in the course where the market's at currently, what the opportunities are, what coins we like, what quality there is, how to understand that for yourself. Then we go into the basics of stuff like that, like what are moving averages, what are, what is on-chain data, what are fundamentals, and then we move on to more advanced stuff like liquidity providing and pools and stuff like that in crypto to make good yield.
Farming.
And then at the end of the course, we usually have 3-4 different guests within the industry. The last time we had the crypto mindset course, very interesting. We had the guy who is basically putting out the technology to get central bank digital currencies going.
Ooh.
And it's called Coti, COTI. They're a company that basically helped Ethereum do its ICO in the very early days. So they got a ton of Ethereum, they got a ton of Cardano, and they've made a layer 2 for Ethereum that has privacy tech that you can, if I were to send money to you, you wouldn't be able to see how much money I have. And so they're working. If you go to their Twitter and their website, you can see different videos of this.
Here we go.
They're working with the European Union, which Christine Lagarde wants. I don't know if they'll get it, but they want a central bank digital currency out by October of this year for the EU. So the EU is cooked.
Very much. So they've been cooked, but yeah.
And then Saudi Arabia, which is also another totalitarian government, right? They basically are coming out with most likely a central bank digital currency through them as well. And then Israel is coming out with a central bank digital
Makes
currency.
a lot of sense.
Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly. Watch the money movement, right? So
Hail Hydra.
it's one of these things where I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, we've heard about that. It's something that's coming out, right? I don't know if people, it's kind of like AI. I don't know if people truly understand the impact that it can have, right?
No idea.
They
Yeah.
have no idea. No.
It's scary.
All right. We'll go to full lines.
Yep.
646-490 is the number to call into the show, guys. If you want, you got questions for Charlie and Miguel on crypto, this is the perfect opportunity to do so. Also, crypto course is open right now. It's more like a mentorship, guys. 2 weeks of Zoom calls. They hold your hand throughout the process. 2 Zoom calls per day. Very intensive. It's like pretty much a boot camp, man. And they read the charts with you guys. They pretty much hold your hand throughout the entire process. So if you guys want to be able to, whether you're advanced or a complete beginner, these guys will help you make a bunch of money on crypto. They've turned a lot of guys into millionaires. Who's the first person on?
All right, we have 3820. You are up. 3820.
What's so funny?
Castle Club.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
see.
All right. What's up, man?
Can't hear nothing.
3820.
What's up, man?
Yo, you're coming in really low, bro.
Hey, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah, we
Go
can
ahead.
go, yeah.
What's your question?
Hey, I just need to tell you guys, bro, that crypto is a giant scam. You guys are wasting your fucking money. Is the big money buying crypto?
Yes.
Yes, the biggest
Hell
bank in the
nah.
world is buying Bitcoin.
Are the central banks buying crypto?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're
There's a
buying
Bitcoin
gold. That's
strategic
what they're fucking
reserve.
buying. The whole point of Bitcoin is to get all you idiots to put your expendable money into instead of buying gold. When all that shit resets, China's going to have all the gold, and America's going to be fucked. And they're doing that shit on
There we
purpose
go.
to try to fuck Americans.
Another China cuck. Another China cuck.
All right,
Oh no,
um,
America's so weak.
So, question for you, bro.
No. I'm not being a China cuck.
you just
This is
said
a
right now.
globalist. This
You
is a
said America's
globalist
cooked
plan.
and
They're trying to
China takes over
get
and
all
gets all
you
the
fucking
gold.
guys to put your money into Bitcoin. And at the end of the day, it's gonna fucking tank.
Bro,
Your best
okay,
bet
bro,
is to buy gold.
Trump,
It's not-
Trump has both.
But China owns all the
and
gold, bro.
How much
crypto.
gold do you have, man?
How much gold do I have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
If
That
you're
doesn't
that
matter.
gold shot, you should own all your assets
That's
in
the
gold, right?
That's a
So
feminist
you don't
fucking
You gotta learn
have
Chinese
gold?
and Mandarin, dog.
You don't even
Stop
have gold?
internalizing what I'm
Yo.
telling you. It's the
So,
fucking truth.
hold on, bro. So let me get this straight. It's such the truth that you don't even have it?
Have what?
Gold.
You don't even have gold.
How do you know how much gold I have?
Because
Yes,
you would
you
have
just said.
immediately told us if you did, which leads me to believe with common sense you don't have any.
What does that make a difference if I have 1 ounce or a fucking kilogram? What difference does it matter?
Because that clearly shows that you don't
That's
even.
what I'm telling you.
Because
the
you don't even
central
believe in
banks
your
don't give
rhetoric.
a fuck about Bitcoin.
Because you don't
They're
even
trying to
believe in
buy
your rhetoric.
gold and they're trying to get all the fucking idiots out there to buy Bitcoin. There's no utility behind it.
This just tells me there's
Who's gonna
way
go
more
into
bull
a store
market
and buy
left because
Bitcoin?
this sentiment
And
is
then you need
fucking
you need a
stupid.
government jurisdiction to fucking pass a law to say, yeah, we're going to accept Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever the fucking
You can
crypto
buy
it is.
Bitcoin anywhere in the
again,
world.
bro,
All that shit's a fucking scam.
Okay.
Bro, Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. If you Google what Satoshi Nakamoto translates, it's literally Central Origin Intelligence. It's a fucking scam.
All right. Let me ask you this, bro. So if it's a scam, right, and everything else like that, and gold is the future, you don't even hold gold.
I'm not saying it's the future. I'm saying when the monetary system resets, everything gets revalued from gold, not
Okay.
from fucking Bitcoin.
So if
Everything gets revalued
let me ask
from
you this
gold.
then, bro.
1
Hold
ounce
on.
of gold is going to be probably 100 G's.
Yo, you're saying that Bitcoin is a scam, but we got central banks investing in it, real estate investors investing in it, all the major banks are investing in it, all the biggest investors are investing in it. Fortune 500 companies are investing in it.
They're fucking allowing the
they are investing in it.
people
They
who
literally
have
are
accounts
investing in it.
with the various
You have
banks.
the state of
They're allowing them to
Arizona
buy ETFs.
and you have the state of
They're
New
allowing them to
Hampshire
buy ETFs
that
so they
allow
can
you to
grow their
buy
money too.
Bitcoin with the state treasury,
no
bro.
central bank is fucking buying Bitcoin, bro.
If
no
you
central bank, they're
listen, we
fucking
will
hoarding
teach
gold.
you
That's
that
what
you
they're
are
fucking
wrong,
doing.
but you don't
If
want to listen.
Hey, if you were a billionaire, right, and you try to go buy $100 million worth of gold, you know what would happen? The fucking owners of the monetary system will say, get the fuck out of here. You're not buying that much gold because we want the fucking gold. You go buy your Bitcoin.
Okay.
You're all
There's 21
getting
million
duped. All
Bitcoin.
y'all
How much
getting
gold
duped.
is there in
and
the
the
world?
fact that Satoshi Nakamoto translates into Central Origin Intelligence, if that shit doesn't put your antennas up, you guys are just fucking gold.
So let me ask you this,
You're
bro.
fucking
Let me ask you
naive,
this.
bro.
Okay.
Until
hold on,
crypto
hold
has
on.
utility, until
Bro.
it has some utility, until a country other than El Salvador, a real fucking country, accepts it as fucking currency.
Let me
That's
ask you
just
this,
a
El
bro.
Salvador,
It's all a scam.
Pakistan is doing it. El Salvador is doing
caller,
it. All sorts of countries
caller.
are
Let me
doing
ask you this then. Let me ask you this, because this is actually I want you to do some critical thinking because it doesn't seem like you have. You don't have gold. We got two guys here that made millions doing
What does
cryptocurrency.
it matter if I have gold or not? That doesn't make
hold
a
on,
difference.
that's
You're
proof of
like a
concept.
female, man.
Proof of concept, my friend. So what I'm saying here is that you're saying that crypto's a scam. Why are these guys multimillionaires in cryptocurrency then? Is that a
It
scam
doesn't
too?
matter how much money somebody has if they own crypto. It doesn't matter. At the end
These
of the
guys have
day,
made millions.
it's gonna fucking
So how's
fold.
it a
The same
scam?
way.
How's
the
it a
same
scam
way
if they made millions?
a Ponzi scheme folds. It's just a fucking Ponzi scheme. That's all it is.
try carrying a bar
So
of gold to the
literally-
airport.
it's literally
You can't
designed
carry gold.
Can I
to
talk,
get people
caller?
right
Can I
now
talk
when
for a second?
everything's crashing.
Caller,
it's designed
do
to
you,
get
do you actually want
regular
to have a
people
conversation?
like
Or are you
y'all
just chipping out?
to invest in it instead of buying gold.
Okay, so what should we
That's
invest in
literally the
besides
whole
gold? Like,
purpose of
what
it. It's just
should we
to
invest in?
route the money into a different direction. If you notice, bro, watch CNBC, watch Bloomberg. All they do is tout fucking Bitcoin.
So this
They
is what I
blow
was going to
Bitcoin
say.
up like
It
it's the best
sounds
thing
like
in the
you're a
world.
guy who only
Gold is at
listens
a
to
fucking
CNBC
all-time
and just
high. It's
parrots
almost
everything they're fucking
$3,500
saying
and they
because you
barely
don't
talk
Yo,
about
yo,
it.
yo,
any
Why
substantial
doesn't
facts
mainstream
behind what
media
you're
talk
saying.
about it?
Yo.
Because they don't want you to fucking own it. They want you to own a fucking bullshit asset like Bitcoin or Ethereum.
go ahead, Charlie.
That's
What
why
do
they
you
talk
gotta-
that shit up
what do
on
you gotta say to
mainstream
this
media.
guy?
You think, hey,
I
bro,
just said it.
you think
Yeah.
Jews that
All right,
own
mute
Bloom
this guy real quick so that Charlie can say what he's got to say.
I
Mute
just
this
said
guy.
like this
Go ahead,
guy just
Charlie.
tout like he's like it's a scam, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's all these, it's Amway, it's all these things. It's like no, that's not how it works at all. Like literally, all those types of things that he's saying is just what the media has tried to blast Bitcoin with for years.
Yeah.
And what has happened? Bitcoin's only gone up. It's gotten more scarce. Everybody wants it more. Governments, nation states, freaking, institutions by, the top banking companies in the world, freaking, what do you call it? Visa, MasterCard. All these guys are getting into this technology. But yeah, like maybe
Yeah.
it's not.
This
Maybe
guy-
it's not the future.
You can tell this
It's all
guy.
going to
This
zero.
guy bought the top last cycle and just pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen to the media and just spout what they say. Like how that's not even like a credible
Yeah,
argument.
but Myron's 100% right. Like if you know gold, if gold's your fucking future, why don't you own any?
Yeah.
You can buy a tenth. You can buy it at Costco. What do you mean? A billionaire? Look, billionaire. You can buy $1 million of gold. Sure. Maybe you might get scrutinized for buying 100 million at a time. You can buy $1 million here, $1 million there. It's so easy to do. You can buy millions of dollars of gold. You absolutely can do it. Transporting it is the problem.
Yeah.
And security is the
heavy.
problem for it. That's why most countries like literally give their gold to other countries in order to act, like a lot of gold's in the UK right now.
Also, he's forgetting companies are embracing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency into their actual platforms.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
not only that, but billionaires are buying silver and they're buying crypto. So I don't know what you're trying to say, bro. Gold
Well,
is not the end all be all.
I think somebody in the chat said it best. It says this guy just listens to Jim Cramer.
We could turn it back on and let him say what he's got to say, then we'll move to the next person. All right, bro. Is he still on the line?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, bro. What do you got to say to Charlie and Miguel? I don't even know why.
Hey, bro, all I'm saying is they wouldn't be blowing Bitcoin up on mainstream media if that shit was gonna get the middle class on top again.
But
If
they
it was
weren't
gonna
doing
boost
that
the middle
10 years
class,
ago, bro.
wouldn't
They
be
weren't
pushing
doing that 5 years ago. They
wouldn't be
just
trying
started
to get
doing that
middle-class
recently.
people on Bloomberg and shit to buy Bitcoin if that shit was gonna actually blow up.
They told people not to buy it for a whole
They're trying
decade, bro.
to scam all you guys.
The
And
entire
bro,
Biden
when
administration
everything
was against
crashes,
it.
when the monetary system resets, okay, everything gets revalued.
So why
in
is the
gold.
monetary
They
system
don't
going to
revalue
reset?
it at Bitcoin because Bitcoin is nothing. Any other
And when is it
crypto
gonna
is
happen,
Zombie
bro?
apocalypse,
Dude,
motherfucker.
tell
Like,
me.
he's like,
Bitcoin is not.
one day when society restarts
you gotta,
over, I
you
will
gotta
have a
be able
girlfriend.
to like, bro. You gotta like you're just spurging out, man. Like respond to what they're saying, dude. Like they're challenging your position, and you can't even fucking. You're just yapping with some like fucking monologue you have memorized. Like, can you answer their questions?
The global hegemony is going to
Like,
fall.
answer their
and
questions,
one day,
bro.
the restructuring across the planet is going to
Answer
happen.
their questions. Let's go ahead and mute
Bro,
him.
right
Answer their
now,
questions.
the whole purpose of the Iran war is because the fucking dollar is gonna crash. If we don't have the world reserve currency
Every
in America,
currency is crashing.
I hate to break it to you
Every
guys,
currency
but
is crashing
your
against
quality
the
of
dollar.
life
The
is
dollar
gonna
loses
tank,
value
and
every year,
Bitcoin ain't gonna
along
mean
with every
shit
other
at that point.
Every other fiat currency is losing value. There isn't a single currency on the planet that is not losing value. They're all hyperinflating because there's a very large boomer population and there's not enough millennials and Xers and Zoomers to make up for all the fucking retirees that are happening right now. Because most of Europe did not have enough babies to fucking make up for all the boomers that were created.
Bro,
and
that
across
has
the planet,
nothing-
there's a
that has
negative.
nothing to do
China's
with
about
it.
to have
What it is
in population.
China creates all
Japan
the
only
wealth
has
because
old
they
people.
make all of our shit.
Bro, you're retarded. You don't know what the fuck you're
They make
talking
all
about.
of our shit.
Stop watching fucking
If we
news.
didn't have the world reserve currency, how would we be getting all these products in America?
Because we won the
We
fucking
wouldn't be able
wars.
to do it.
We won
And
the
once
fucking wars and
America
took it,
loses the world
motherfucker.
reserve
Like every other
currency,
fucking
it's
nation
not
who
going to
has
matter what
such.
Bitcoin is. Bitcoin could be worth $1 trillion. It doesn't matter because we're going to be hyperinflated by that point.
Next, get the fuck out of here, dude. That was shit.
Yeah, he don't want to listen, bro.
No,
Idiot.
not at all.
He just want to spurg out.
Exactly.
All right.
Bro has
Go buy
no
rims.
gold. Guarantee you he's broke, and he's over here trying to tell these guys
Bro.
it's a scam.
Well, his woman doesn't listen to him. That's why he wants us to listen to him because we're the only people that actually hear his bullshit. Everybody else in his real life tells him to shut the
Incredible,
fuck
bro.
up.
But you called him out. He has no gold. Nothing
Yeah.
to invest in. You're just talking.
Yeah.
Nigga got no
what do you
gold
actually
talking
have?
about all this shit, bro.
And he lives in America and he's hoping for China to take over. No, you don't know how cooked America is because China's going to have all the gold. Who gives a fuck at all? It's good at the end. If it all comes down, it's going to come down to military strength. At the end of the day, if it really came down to the fucking it's all over.
Also, we know somebody very successful, very
Right.
well known buying Bitcoin as we speak right now. and he said to everybody in that room, buy at least one Bitcoin. It's gonna save your life.
Yep.
All right.
For a reason.
Who's up next?
So,
Didn't
gotta
realize
know
that we get an
100%.
idiot, the
Absolutely.
first caller.
It's all good.
Incredible.
But you know
bro.
what? That's a good sign. People that don't want to buy, perfect.
Exactly.
Stay over there.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
buy.
it's a problem when everybody says like, "Oh yeah, everybody has to get into it," and
Yeah.
like the top of the market
I
is
prefer
usually
people
close.
like that be out there so that they don't buy. It's perfect.
I know on which side he is, and it's the side of being wrong.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, but hey, let him be.
All right, who's up next?
All right, 3693. You are up. 3693.
Bro, I'm not gonna hold you. That's by me to buy more Bitcoin. Literally, bro.
I felt like I had more time now.
Yeah.
I felt like I had more time. We're so early now.
I got scared
Yeah,
at
you
a
need
convention.
idiots like that, bro. That's how you make money is off idiots like that.
Yep. All right, here we go.
3693, sir.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Hello, Myron, sir. Myron, my name is Baljit from India. I have a serious dilemma I need your opinion on.
All right, go next caller.
No, Myron, please. Please, Myron.
All right. 3206, you're up. 3206, you're up.
Hey, man. Eat for effort, bro.
3206.
Eat for effort, man.
This is the absolute best call-in show ever.
Going once. Going twice. So,
I just wonder if people that give advice, do you have any money yourself? like, what do you do, bro? Like, are you qualified at all? Because I'm like, bro, what do you actually do?
Right.
But, you know.
6836, you're up. 6836.
What's
Hey,
up?
yeah, so I joined the, what's it called? The crypto mindset right now. And so I'm in the group chat right now, and my question is, there's a whole bunch of coins. I'm a little bit confused. And so from what I understand from the group chat is, like, for instance, Sonic, you're only able to use that on Kraken and stuff. And I've been seeing in the group chat as well that it's better to have your own wallet than being on, like, Coinbase
Correct.
and Kraken.
So yeah, so just to kind of let you know what's coming around the corner, right? So you're in the chat, which is awesome. I put a pin in the chat earlier today, basically saying like now is the time from where we're coming up. So hopefully you saw those alerts. We still, have until the webinars begin. It'll be around. It'll be on Saturday, June 28th, and so before the webinars begin, after the enrollment ends. Well, actually, probably about from next weekend, a little bit before enrollment ends on the 23rd, we're gonna give you guys the pre-recorded webinars. We have 3 of them that will help you out with setting up your wallets and setting up, understanding basically the questions that you're asking. So all the stuff that's like for brand new people, we basically have that tutorial, series, right? If you actually want to go and watch a little bit of it, there's a website called Polemos Forge. If you go to the Polemos University, there's a crypto mindset course group. So I'll pin that in the chat later today so you guys can see it. And there's some beginner videos for how to get in there. So just wait until later this week, and then we'll have those tutorials for you. Of course, we'll have a pinned thing basically with all these different links that we recommend for crypto.com, Kraken, Coinbase, any of these exchanges that you need to set up. So we'll get you there. It takes a little time, obviously, once we finish the enrollment to jump into the webinars. But yeah, then once the webinars begin on June 28th, then that's where we'll start going into like what are the good coins right now, what's the market. We have a top 50 coin list. How do you actually understand what's a good coin versus a highly risky coin and stuff like that. So just watch the pin messages in the chat, because that's I would say about every few days, that's where new information will be posted.
Yeah, and don't be hyped. Obviously, we have a lot of people who've been in previous courses, so they're obviously talking about coins they're currently in, and they're a lot more advanced right now. And we have guys just like you who've just started. So if you want to buy some Ethereum. Sonic is at a good price for some Sui, and then just wait. Don't blow the whole bag right now.
Correct.
Wait until you start learning what you're doing. That way you don't make any big mistakes. But it's super safe. You can buy Sui, you can buy Sonic, you can buy Ethereum. Those 3 right there will put you in a really good spot. Or Solana as well.
Yep.
Those are really good 4 coins. And then once you kind of have that right there, you save a little of your other capital. And then you'll learn what's going on, and then you'll be able to move those coins. I started all my funds originally were on Coinbase and Cash App until I kind of learned how to move my funds onto wallets and stuff. So don't worry. I know it's a little scary, but once you learn how to do it, dude, it's incredible. You're your own bank. Your money's safe, and we teach you guys all the safe practices of how to keep your money safe. So don't worry.
And if you have any very specific questions, you can always do at Cultivate Crypto or at Dollar Cost Crypto in the chat, and then every day we go through those and make sure that we answer those questions too.
All right.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I have about like $4,000 in Coinbase, and I own one Ethereum, one Solana, and $1,000 in Bitcoin, and a couple $100 in Sui. But I just want to learn more about the smaller coins.
So you're in a perfect spot. You're in a very perfect spot because you already got exposure to the market on solid assets in the space. And then once we get, you're gonna love the top 50 coin webinar. Everybody gets a little too hyped in that webinar, so we kind of have to be like the next webinar we do right after that is our risk management webinar. So it's like, hey, here's all the shiny objects in the market, but hey, here's the way to make sure you don't lose money. So we make sure to give you guys both sides of it, so that way you can kind of choose which risk level you're going towards.
Gotcha. Yeah, and this is M Popov from your YouTube stream.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, what's up, G?
Nice to see you, man.
Yeah, should we announce
I appreciate it.
Sorry?
Should we announce the meetup we're doing? Or
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
All right. Next?
All right. We have 2685. You're up. 2685.
Yeah, hey, so I just had one question. So back in May 2025, June 2024, sorry. June 2024, I listened to you guys, and I bought based on that. Obviously, I haven't checked up, so I've lost a considerable amount because of that, probably. But I own 744 in Bitcoin, 540 in Ethereum, 1,050 in Fetch, 1,500 in Illuvium. Some of the Illuvium was an accident, so I'm just wondering what could I do in my situation, do you think?
Yeah, the Illuvium, you can pivot that into Sui or Sonic, I would say. And then everything else, Fetch is a good coin. Like, I would buy more of that from where it's at now. I bought some more a couple weeks ago. And so, you just basically, if you're like, let's say, for example, the portfolio is down like 20% or something like that, then and the coins are down, like whichever coins are down the most of those ones you mentioned, except Illuvium, you can basically just top up and buy more so that you average your price down. So that way, when price is going up here over the next few months, it's easier basically to get in the green faster. But yeah, that's one thing we do tell people, right, is when the market gets hot, like right now, the market's starting to get really hot again until the end of the year is what we're thinking here. And so when that happens, the market's going to get faster and faster and faster and faster as we get towards the top. So we recommend people to kind of look at crypto like a checklist. So like if you're going to be flying an airplane or doing anything like that, you obviously have to have a checklist of everything you're doing so that you don't crash and you don't, die, right? And so for crypto, if you bought during a period like May of that year, prices were a little high, prices went down, but then prices went up to new all-time highs at the end of the year, right? And so like you probably had multiple chances to take some profit off the table and different stuff like that. But yeah, if you don't pay attention for about 13 months, you're like right now from where we are now until 13 months from now, you're going to miss so many profits in the entire bull market that like the checklist way of looking at it is, okay, so once every 3 months, the crypto mindset course basically brings you like a quarter's worth of data. We'd say like, here's exactly how the market's changed. Here's what's going on. Here's the new trends. Here's the old trends that have died. And then you can take that information and you can start whittling it down to your coins. So let's say, for example, of all the information we give in the course, maybe you only have like a handful of coins out of all the top 50. So you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to take 10% of this information, and that's what's really relevant to me. And then I'm going to look at that 10% of information. So I'm going to check the price of Bitcoin, check the price of Ethereum, check the price of Solana or whatever other coins that you have. I'm going to check those prices, once a week. You don't have to check it every day, but as long as you have like a time that you usually come back to your portfolio and just check where things are at, then it's going to be a lot easier not to, just forget about it. But if you do want to set it and forget it portfolio, over like a 5-year time span, right? You got to choose coins that aren't going to die. So that way there's going to be a lot of volatility. I mean, Myron's kind of done that strategy with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, right? You just bought the core main coins that are tops in the market. And then, the volatility of those happen. But, then his plan is to hold that for 5-10 years plus as a side savings account. So you kind of have to choose, what's your strategy.
Yeah, and then two, I'm not chastising you because life happens to people.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But this is the important thing about you have to even if it's just once a week, take a look.
It's not 30 minutes
difficult.
or 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Is
Illuvium finished? Like, there's no coming back from it.
It's not.
It's surviving, but it's
very pegged to Ethereum.
It's got its legs crushed, right? So it basically. They came out with their game. It wasn't quite how they had said it was going to be and everything. And basically people are like, yeah, we don't want that. And so, price crashed on that one. But that's the problem with GameFi, I would say, is if you choose a specific game, it's really just dependent. Does the game work or does it not, right, when it comes out? And so GameFi as like a platform. So if you're like, okay, I want to go to something like IMX because IMX has like a bunch of different games on it.
It's a marketplace.
That's a easier way to bet on the GameFi space because you're not.
It's widespread, not just like
exactly. You're not depending on one game. It's depending on multiple. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but if you focus in one game and it works, you make a lot of money. And we always tell people not let GameFi as a sector be more than 5% of their portfolio. But that people choose to decide to put more and more into it. I think it'll recover somewhat because as Ethereum shoots up, they're a large holder of Ethereum. They're one of the largest pools on SushiSwap in terms of Ethereum. They have millions and millions of dollars of Ethereum still in the liquidity pools. But it's, even popular. There's really popular, Alex Becker, right? Yeah. Alex Becker, really popular kind of gamer, sort of like tech guy. He pivoted 100% into GameFi, and he's taken major losses. And I do respect the guy because he legitimately did his research. He backed all his he didn't back down, but he took a lot of L's. A lot of L's, and it's just because.
But he's still fucking here. That's the one other thing. Like that guy.
I gotta give him respect. I gotta respect. He's still here.
Back then, he was the man for sure.
Oh no, he didn't miss.
Yeah,
he didn't miss. But the same thing too. There's guys who got sadly or not sadly put everything into NFTs again. NFTs flopped this cycle.
Yeah,
and all the NFT money went into memes, right? So the memes have always been here, but all the NFT money went into that. Even partly of the GameFi money went into memes as well. But one of the big catalysts I believe that's really going to take off GameFi is going to be probably Grand Theft Auto when it comes out. There's a crypto component in the payment system. These games stay around for a decade. When they come out, it's going to be around for a whole decade. The billions of dollars that are going to be done through transactions. Eventually, they might end up putting that cryptocurrency, whatever the money is, on Coinbase and all these official, the big four, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Crypto.com are going to be the big four exchanges in America. That is probably going to be one of the catalysts to take off all of GameFi. You're going to get a nice pump in GameFi with Ethereum pumping like crazy, but it's going to be some major game that has crypto with it, which is probably going to be Grand Theft Auto. So it could be in 26, maybe in 27 when it really comes out. But when it does, we'll have a nice pop in the industry. But it's just, that's the game. That's why when we told our guys, the maximum is 5%. And this is a speculative industry. You can make a lot of money. Let's make some bets. I still have some bets right now too, but I still have large in my portfolio in the safer stuff. And then I play around with memes as well. But you got to be smart about it.
Right. That's
why we talk about portfolio and we have the risk webinar. But some people they hear, damn, if this coin hits,
I'm a millionaire.
Yeah, I'm a millionaire.
Yeah. But the caller is coming back and saying, hey, I know, I need to adjust things. Like, hey, what do I do? Right. So I respect that because, like you said, life happens. And you got to come back and in crypto, it's great. You just
he's here now.
Change a few exactly. Change a few things, and then you're back on track.
You haven't missed the bull run, so you can still make some money.
He's aware. So
yeah, exactly. But a little more attention, man, because if you do just zone off for a full year, you can miss the whole bull run, and then you're like, oh, dude, Bitcoin's lower than when I bought it. Well, yeah, because it's now down 70%. It totally could happen. So you have to pay attention a little bit. So not every day, but if you're busy. But yeah.
So basically, what you guys are saying is there's little to no chance of Illuvium coming back up and to cut my losses and to put it into SUI, right?
Yeah, that would be the better play. It's not the reason. I think it will come back. It's just not going to come back as hard as other stuff. So you want to get on something that's already proven that is pumped this cycle, and that one has a good run in it. So it'll make you, probably back what you lost on that particular coin, and then also plus some after that. So which is what we want, right?
Yeah, and the big kind of global sort of like, we saw the first kind of like step into like GameFi and / like the gaming industry getting into crypto is like GameStop just bought a ton of Bitcoin. Right, you're going to start seeing probably a lot of these gaming corporations start buying Bitcoin and Ethereum as like treasury assets, and eventually, as they start learning how to use this stuff, they're going to probably either have their own closed off sort of like USDC or like stablecoin, or they're going to have their own currency that trades on a market and stuff within a whole ecosystem and stuff like that. So I would imagine EA and all these companies eventually over the next 10 years are all going to be in crypto because it's a huge amount of money, and then they can make swap fees, they can charge a tax on it. And, you guys, I mean, people are addicted to buying these fucking loot boxes and buying all these Pokemon cards and buying everything. I mean, so they're going to make a fortune off this stuff. Why wouldn't they do it? It's a smart business decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it takes time for it to happen.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you got it, brother.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem.
No problem.
And if since he's already been a customer, if he ever wants like any specific help on something, like he has one specific question that he absolutely needs answered, you can always email us support@cultivatecrypto.com. We make sure we understand, who's been in before, and then we'll make sure to, get you some of the stuff answered. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right.
Yeah. All right. Who's up next?
Next up, we have 8907. You were up. 8907. You are up.
8907. Go ahead.
What it do?
What up?
Long time from day one, back in like 2020, 2021, whatever. Now I got a crazy proposal here. I mean, not proposal, but like my situation, so you guys can give me some advice here. Been sitting on Bitcoin since 2008, so.
Hey, you're coming in really low, bro. You gotta speak up louder.
Let me switch over. Hold on.
Yeah, just speak up if you can.
No. Bitcoin was in 2009.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah, well,
All right, no, I took the earpiece off. That's why.
Okay, that's better. We got you. Go ahead.
No doubt. So I bought Bitcoin back in 2008. Sat on it. My problem was I ain't go hard when I bought it because money was tight. So I bought 3 coins, sat on it. Bought 2 more back in like 2013 when it spiked up to like a G, some change.
You got like 5 BTC.
So now the original Bitcoin. Each Bitcoin split up and became BTCs. Each Bitcoin.
It wasn't well, so we were gonna let him talk first, but I mean, Bitcoin didn't exist in 2008, so either he had his information incorrect or he misremembered. So the year he bought, but you said $1,000 Bitcoin, so that was closer to like 2013 that you bought, or?
That's when I bought the other 2. Yeah, those were BTCs.
The BTC that's worth 106,000.
Yeah, so he has 2 of those.
Duh. And I have the 3 originals, so total I have 5.
Okay, well, if you have 5 Bitcoin, great. That's a good place to start. So, I mean, right now that's $500,000, $500,000. You're doing well.
Correct. Yeah, I've been sitting on it for forever. So my thing is, I live a brokey life. So like when you mention brokies on the chat all day, that's me all day.
Right.
Been sitting on it. Been thinking about breaking open.
Do you have a job? Like how much
also,
do you earn? Like I understand that you have that, but like, do you have a job, like income coming in?
Yeah, I do. I got a little income. It's just to get by, not much.
How much do you
bank
earn
out
per
like
month?
about $2,000 a month, 2,500. Nothing serious.
Where do you live?
I'm out in the sticks, Pennsylvania. Originally from Jersey.
And with 2,500, you can like pay all your bills and shit. You're okay? Because that's not much, bro.
Oh yeah. Of course.
So he's really out there.
And nigga, if you're happy, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
not a baller. I mean, I got a few cars and stuff like that, but it's not like,
No, it's fine. I mean, like, it's just because, like, 2,500 a month is very low, so I'm assuming you got to live somewhere really out there in the boonies to be able to live on 2,500.
If you're sitting on 5 Bitcoin, bro, I mean, he could got some real estate, he could got some more stuff.
Yeah. You could sell. Look, I don't normally tell people to sell it this early, but look, obviously, hearing your situation, I think you should put yourself in this, like, if.
So you just want to know what to do with the money, right? Just so I make sure that before you answer, you want to know what to do with the money?
Well, should I like break out now? Because in order for me, that's the whole point. Like I was never able to take out a little bit here and a little bit there. I have to cash out the whole thing, the whole wallet.
Why?
Why?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
No. You can break up Bitcoin into millions of pieces.
But let them answer. Why does it have to be sold like that?
That's how it's done. I mean,
no.
You can divide Bitcoin into a million pieces and sell one piece at a time if you want.
Correct.
So what's the question, or what do you want solved? Because we're going to help you, but we're kind of unclear with what you're trying to do now.
Well, sell the whole pot and just reinvest that, or sit on it and keep riding out the waves, pretty much. Because I mean, it's been what?
Well, okay. So for your situation specifically, let me give you the simplest solution for your situation right now. The easiest solution for you, because right now we have what do you call it? The crypto mindset course, and everybody who purchases it will also get emailed an extension course called the Take Profits course. Right? So if you take the current crypto mindset for Q3 and you take the Take Profits course, then as long as you're paying attention to the market, you're paying attention to everything, then when it comes time for the market top to come close or be in, or to dollar cost average out, whichever strategy you decide to choose from those webinars, then you'll be able to do it towards the end of the year. Then all you need, so let's say, for example, Bitcoin tops in October of this year at $180,000, just as an example, right? If you take the Take Profits course and the Crypto Mindset course with us this quarter, that costs you about $1,500 for $500,000. That's going to go maybe towards $1 million. That's definitely the cheapest insurance that you can buy, right? Then you get into it, you understand, let's say October we peak. Let's say you sell when it's $750,000 in total for that right. Bag or whatever. Then literally you just wait 1 year till Q4 of 2026, and then you don't do anything with that money except for pay your taxes, of course. So whatever capital gains you got on that, you'll have to pay based on where you live and everything.
That's the bigger problem there too.
Well, here's the thing: like, you pay taxes because you made profit, right? That's great. Like the government, yeah, it sucks, but you got to do it. So, and we talk about that in the course as well, like how to situate yourself right for taxes in crypto. But then you just wait a year until Q4 of 2026. And then you take that 750,000 that you're just holding basically in cash. Let's say it's like 600,000 after you pay taxes and everything. Then let's say Bitcoin goes from 180,000 down to $60,000, right? Right now it's 100,000. So you could basically take, let's say 600,000, right? Now you have 10 Bitcoin, right? So you just did what we call cultivating crypto. You've compounded your Bitcoin, and then you just need to sit on that for the next few years. But what I would recommend then is then in Q4 of 2026, take another crypto mindset course and then try to understand the other assets in this space and then get a little deeper into it, because crypto is not a, a salary. But it is a bonus, right? So you can treat it like a quarterly bonus, a yearly bonus, a biannual bonus, or whatever. So if you really do learn it in depth, and you've already done great in crypto, then you'll be able to continue compounding your bags, continue cultivating crypto. And so we can get you in a long-term, very good spot. And then, hey, if you just are like want to live like a brokie for a while, it's great. You can save a lot of money. And then when you do need to retire when you're old, you'll have a lot of, digital assets basically to fall back on.
Yeah, learn on your bags, because you can make a single mistake and you could lose it all. You could lose all your Bitcoin. Just an accidental.
You know what, bro? I think, dude, you need to join the course, bro. You got way too much money where you don't want to fuck that up, man.
He's got $500,000, almost $600,000 right now.
Yeah. I mean, I literally saw this go from $13 all the way up to $100,000.
Fucking respect for not selling, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's great that you haven't sold. But bro, I think you should. Someone like you, right? We've talked about people before, like they don't have enough to invest and they don't know what to do. Someone like you needs to get in there, bro, because you got an enormous amount of money, and I think it behooves you to understand crypto, understand the markets, and kind of go from there, because you could probably easily exponentially increase the amount of money you have with some intelligent moves.
Yeah, I know. I heard, because I mean, from what I understood, that once I sell my wallet, well, I'm calling it a wallet. It's not a wallet. It's the key.
Keys, yeah.
I mean, like I said, bro, you're sitting on like 500, 600K. Take 1,000 of that, and that will probably be the best 1,000 you ever spent, because that'll expand your knowledge and allow you to take the money that you have and grow it with these guys. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got cars I can just sell and make $1,000 real quick. Understood.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
And then the thing is,
My
too,
thing is-
don't even sell the course. Just take 1,000 out from your wallet and then buy the course.
And if you don't know how to, like literally just send an email to support@cultivatecrypto.com. Say, fresh and fit, $500,000 in Bitcoin. Don't know how to sell. And I'll literally jump on a call with you, bro, and tell you exactly how to sell so you can use that $1,000 to buy the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely know how to sell that.
Okay, well, it didn't sound like it before. That's all I'm saying.
So either way, bro, the point I'm trying to make is you got a significant amount of money that I think you need some coaching and some guidance with. So I would invest that money, and you'll be able to make that money back 10x with the amount in your portfolio. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, definitely. Sounds good.
Cool. All right, man. Well, yeah, bro. Make that happen. All right, who's up next? Click that link, get in there.
We have. Where I just saw you donated.
It's already 9:32.
Yeah.
4909, you're up.
So we got a
4909, you're up.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? So I wanted to ask a question. So I've got some money on ETH, and I'm down on that right now. But I also got some money on Bitcoin, and I'm barely up. So what's another coin that I might be able to invest in?
Sonic and Sui are two coins right now that are significantly undervalued and that will go up pretty well. So after Bitcoin and Ethereum, I would say those two are really good. A little Solana doesn't hurt, or a little Radium instead of Solana doesn't hurt. So either those 2 or 3 coins you'll add to the pie, basically. And those are more volatile, so when they do go up, they'll go up harder.
Yeah, but they've already dipped a little bit, so they're not at their all-time highs.
Correct.
So you're buying kind of not at the absolute low of like the drop, but you're buying kind of the rebound right here, but a very good price. Like Sui's like $3. I think Solana's like 170 each coin, and then like Sonic is like 30 cent range and stuff. So all of them are pretty affordable for almost everybody.
Yep.
And you can just stack them slowly over time, and I think that'll kind of help. Ethereum is going to fix itself pretty soon.
And
right
Crypto.com is a great place to get all those.
Yes, yeah. Or Kraken as well.
Yep.
So what you say about Ethereum, that is gonna come back up?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Ethereum right now, just on Sunday and Monday, had some of the biggest inflows in it. The Ethereum spot ETF had the most money put into it in one day today. And then yesterday you had some of the most spot Ethereum bought at one given time, those 2 times. So a lot of rich people are buying. Trump bought Ethereum when it was below $2,000. So yeah, it's coming.
All right, that was it. Thank you, guys, and shout out to Meyer and shout out to Fresh.
No worries, man.
All right, bro. Keep doing what y'all do.
All right, let's get the next person on. Let's try to get as many people, or do you want to go to chats?
We'll chat. How many we got, Mo? Yeah, chat.
We can speed run all the questions, whatever you guys need us to do.
Yeah, we'll chat real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the first one? All right, here we go. Quick slap, right? No, Johnny Boy. What do you guys think about XRP?
Okay, well, let's play devil's advocate here, right? So
Okay.
Miguel, let's be the negative guy against Ripple. I'll be the Ripple maxi, all right? So I'll give the first positive Ripple thing because like
it's not going to zero. It's going to do okay. It's going to do okay. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So okay, if I was a Ripple maxi, right, what I would say about Ripple is it's an organization that's basically gone through multiple crypto bull cycles. It always gets mentioned on CNBC. Everybody knows about it, and the price, especially the last 1 year, has performed very, very well. Right. So at times, very rare times, but at times it has outpaced Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it has made money more than it hasn't over the long term in terms of dollars, right? Not necessarily in terms of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but in terms of like what organizations they have and everything. One positive is that they have Ripple RLUSD, which was approved by the state of New York, which getting anything approved by the state of New York in crypto is absolutely extremely difficult. And so they do have a stable coin that will be used across different banks and regions, but JP Morgan is also coming out with their own one. So it's going to have plenty of competition. And the only banks who really use it somewhat are people related to the bank called SBI, which is based out of Japan and Asia, and they have basically a big seat on the Ripple board. And so there are some remittances and stuff being used between South Korea, Japan, and Southeast Asia with Ripple, but it's still in its early stages. So you're still early, bro. It's going to $10 now. But like that would be if I was positive towards Ripple. Those are some of the things that it does have going for it. But
I mean, look, Payola isn't terrible, but like, look, XRP's tech, when it came out, its tech was very advanced. It's useful, right? But what's happening is that there's a lot of corporations, like stuff like Cody and stuff like that. There's a multiple players for basically every country wants to control their own thing. They don't want to give it to control over to some side organization that they have not 100% control over. So it looks like to me the world is heading towards all having their own different central bank digital currencies that they control. And over time, they're going to create some sort of system to trade with each other, and I think we're going to get some sort of hybrid system. XRP is a little bit. How do I say it in a negative way? Like XRP is a little bit kind of sweating right now because their main thing was moving stable coins and essentially moving XRP itself over borders and stuff, and basically making transaction fees. And
the banks want their cut.
The banks want their cut, and there's every major corporation. You got MasterCard, you got Visa, you got JP Morgan, you got BlackRock. They're all starting their own stable coins, which essentially does what XRP is doing anyway already.
Cuts them.
It's cut them out. So that's why XRP is in competition right with Coinbase to buy USDC, because that will at least buy them a guaranteed market share. But if they don't win it, they're under a lot of competition right now. The other thing too is that a lot of XRP holders, the majority of them, to me, how it seems to me, as I'm a crypto native guy, I'm a millennial, it seems to me the average XRP guy is an Xer/boomer who don't really know everything about crypto that much. They obviously have more money, so they've been able to
get sold on hype.
They got sold on hype, and they get sold on kind of, we call it professor coins, where someone comes up and gives all this data. Look at all the things we're doing. I showed on one of my, I'm not going to show it right now, but I showed this on my show that XRP essentially didn't move that much for 6 years. So it did
a stable coin. You didn't, If you bought it at the lows, you
made a triple or a triple, which,
right.
but that's
most people
great.
didn't.
That's great in equities.
Right.
That's terrible in crypto. I mean, let me put this in an example. During that 6-year tenure where XRP didn't really move shit, right? Ethereum crashed down to $78, and went to 4,800, 5,100 on some of the Korean exchanges, right? Bitcoin went from $3,300 to $69,000, right? The amount of X's is incredible. Now, it did very good from like 13 to 17. Incredible. That's where all the money was made on XRP, and that's why I was very happy for these long-term holders, because I'm not a complete hater. I feel for people who hold coins for a long time, and eventually they got a nice pop. So I'm happy that they finally made some money, but like it was a long road for them to get any returns. Now I think XRP with ETF will at least go to $10, but it's extremely large in market cap, as well as now that the founders SEC filings have all gone away, and like their cases have gone away, they're no longer going to disclose how much XRP they sell on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis when the releases happen. So you're not going to know how much they're dumping anymore. And the whole organization's paid off of selling XRP on the open market.
And if you want our thoughts on this times 50 other freaking coins that we think you need to know about in the crypto space, literally this is one of the webinars where we're like, okay, boom, we just got the positive, negative, the whole what do you call it, too long didn't read version of XRP. Great. Okay, now Miguel, let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next, right? And so when we do that in the course, you guys then become experts on pretty much any coin that you want. And we don't tell a rosy picture every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's still gonna be. It's gonna still be here. Still gonna be here. Yeah.
What's next one, Mo? And we got Afterhours with some guests as well, and some girls coming up very soon.
No, I said that competition on Coinbase was the purchasing of Circle,
all right,
which is USDC.
Here we go. Senior Granado says, just a reminder that your heart was not FNF. That episode was Fuego. Crypto's not going away. Get in CMC, learn crypto before the bull market.
He defeated the SEC.
That was the picture I was laughing at earlier. On the show. That was when you were asking what I was laughing, it was there.
Yeah, funny guy, man. Funny guy.
So too long didn't read version on Richard Hart right now, right?
That's
a lot of people
close-up.
don't understand this in crypto, even Bitcoin people and everything, right? He is the only person and the only chain to actually beat the SEC in court. They beat the SEC in court.
They had no case. They were going to lose if they went to court. Even the judge was laughing at them like, this is the most ridiculous lawsuit I've ever seen. Why are you guys bringing up this bullshit?
Wow.
To the SEC. Their own judges were like, this is fucking ridiculous. So they lost.
W. Richard, bro.
Richard, man. Yeah.
All right. What's the next one? Jay Has says, Charlie and Miguel confirmed time travelers. Get into CMC now or stay a brokey forever. All right. Christian LLX. What's the freshman fit, Miguel Charlie? I have about $5K to spend. I'm wanting to get into PLSX. Do you recommend waiting on a coin recommendation in the course
Well,
or getting
number
in
one,
PLSX?
nigga, you need to get in the crypto mindset course, man.
Facts.
Yep.
That's number one, bro.
And
It's an investment, guys.
Like,
you got
yo,
the money in.
like, guys, you got like that. What? It's $1,000. You're gonna make that money. Almost everybody that joins the course makes that money back immediately.
Yep, and if you're not sure
And
about a
profits.
coin and you're like, I really want this thing and whatever, take 20% of what you want to put towards that coin right now, buy it. There's no better time than the present, and then wait for the webinars when you're further educated, basically to go more harder.
Because it's more, these coins that are within ecosystems are a little more complex to get into because they're not sold on exchanges. So you have to buy a coin to get into another coin to get into the coin.
Yep.
Which a lot of guys in the beginning, they kind of fuck it up or just don't know exactly what to do. So we'll help you guys all out with that. Don't worry. We show you how to wheel and deal in the DeFi space.
Got it. Perfect. Next one. Sir Douglas says, "Hey guys, happy to see you back and delivering great info. One question: would you guys be would be for you guys is where do you see the meme coin JPROOF coin, Stu Peters coin going?
That one I haven't seen or heard of yet, so I'd have to take a look at that. But
Hey man, rug pull.
Yeah,
made
because-
20K with the initial rush up to 20 cents. It went back to 2 cents. Do you see if I'm making a recovery swing back at all?
we made
Rug pull.
20K.
You made
Altcoin,
20K.
bro.
Do not put all, if you do like it a lot, do not put all your money back into it. This is a rule I have.
Correct.
Like when I've made off a bunch of in meme coins, you don't full stack it all back, right? You keep some profits. You can keep fucking out here making plays, but we cannot recommend it because I don't know I don't even know what chain it's on.
Yeah,
Hey, Drew Peters, you rug pull your audience. You're a fucking snake, bro. That's fucking weak. I hate that shit, bro.
Wait, what?
He did a rug pull, bro. On the
Oh,
audience.
really?
It's
Wow.
fucking. It's fucked up, bro.
Wow. Okay.
Wait,
That's snake shit.
Why'd you randomly?
What's the next one?
What the hell?
Fucking scumbag, bro. Piece of shit. All right, what's next?
Wait, is he in the
Films?
chat? Like what? What?
Yeah, he was spamming the link for the coin in the chat. I saw that shit.
Right now?
Oh.
No, before.
No, he was
Pussy
Oh,
ass move,
before it dropped in price. Yeah.
No respect, bro.
When?
He scammed his audience.
I mean,
It's everywhere on Twitter, bro. You can't deny it.
Gotcha.
Fucking rug pull. Piece of shit, bro. TPC Films. I bet he's upset because he's a simp who invested into hop to a coin. L simp disgruntled investor. The guy from earlier.
Yo, yeah,
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tell our guys don't invest in almost any celebrity coin, or
Yeah.
at least wait until the celebrity coin crashes,
Yeah.
and then see if he's still fucking trying to promote.
Yeah.
Most of them don't, and it's rugged at that point, right? We made money on the Trump coin. We didn't put $1 into Melania. Fuck that shit. Do not put
saw
any
it
money in
coming.
any female, even if
Female
it's Trump's,
coins.
no girl coins
no.
at all. No girl coins at all.
Yeah.
The only one I did put into was like after the fact was Iggy. I made a little money on that one after it popped up and stuff, and then I just kind of took my profits and that's it. Yep.
All right. What's next one?
I think Art Lightning gifted some subs. Shout out to you, Art Lightning. I appreciate that, man.
Sir Douglas. Also, do you think Gary GG33 is right for the Bitcoin crashing in
Yes.
2026?
Yes, definitely. And
Yup.
here's the thing.
Gives the 20
4
subs. Thanks, Art Lightning. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
bro.
Art.
Yeah, it's the 4-year cycle, right? So every 4 years, Bitcoin crashes on the 4th year, right? And so that's 2026. That last happened in 2022. Then it happened in 2018. You go back and look at the chart. It's like clockwork. You can we'll tell you how to make money in that environment, but right now we're in the opposite environment. So we'll wait till next year to teach you that.
So last show we spoke about 3 key players that brought up this same thing that's happening.
Yeah.
I can't say his name because it's
Right.
private, But that guy, very successful billionaire.
Yep.
Then Gary and then you guys.
Yep.
So if you all 3 are saying it, bro, I believe 100%.
Even Gary's crypto guy that he has,
Yeah.
said the same thing. Well, like it's just like multiple people. It's like macro, micro guys. It's like fundamental analysis, technical analysis, numerology. It all happens. Now, the only caveat is depending if the Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates and printing money
To slow it down.
It'll maybe extend the bull run maybe halfway into 26, but no way past like July will it not just be fucking tanking like this. And if it does tank that far, it'll probably bottom out sometime in 27. If it let's just say it tops out sometime in like November, December, or October, it'll still limp along for the rest of the year, and then it'll crash in January. So the bottom would be at the end of 26 or 27, basically.
Yeah, 4-year cycle wise, it would still be valid even if we had a high into next year. It would just basically mean the bear market in terms of time would probably be a few months shorter than usual.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Bitcoin Benito. Hey, Miguel and Fresh. I met you guys at BTC conference in 23 when you came to our table at Vendome. Oh, shit. When we had big booty models, laughed my ass off. We should meet again. You guys going next year?
It's in Vegas next year.
It's in Vegas next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely go.
I'm down.
Yeah, they don't have Vendome over there. They have Live now.
Oh yeah.
At Fontainebleau. Yeah,
Vegas. Good times. Dasher for Dasher says, I'm 20 and I won't have over 100K to buy BTC anytime soon. I have about $600 in Coinbase after about a month. Should I focus on other coins instead and still be successful in the years to come?
So for someone like this, right, especially if you have less income, it does make more sense to buy Bitcoin during. So when Bitcoin crashes, right, when Bitcoin crashes and like makes that low and stuff like because remember, look, in 2017 we went to 20,000, it crashed to 3,000. Then from there it boomed all the way to 21 up to 69,000. Then it crashed to 15,500, and now we're at $108,000 right now. So depending on where we go, it's probably going to crash back down to 60,000. If it goes really high, let's just say it goes $250,000, that would be fantastic. It might only go down to 70 or 80, and that's where you buy, because then you can make some really quick returns on Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin makes that bottom and finally makes the bottom, it'll pop up to 100 or 120 and then just be kind of boring flatline there. And then that's when you try to accumulate that BTC. But you try to buy smaller cap coins. Obviously, depending on how busy you are and your risk profile, like I think maybe staying to like a Sonic Sui, Solana is a good trio for you, because it's all in exchanges, very easy to sell, and there's news everywhere about it, basically. But you're not going so crazy on, like, you're in some micro cap meme coin where you can lose all your money.
All right.
Yeah.
Any more bills? Perfect.
Cool.
All right, guys, where can they find y'all, and what's coming next up in the course?
Yeah, if you go and you can watch our stuff absolutely for free on my channel is Cultivate Crypto, and Miguel's is Dollar Cost Crypto. You can find that on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. YouTube is the main place that we put out all our free content, so definitely go there and subscribe. But yeah, the course enrollment ends on next week on Monday the 23rd, so there's a limited amount of time. You want to jump in and take advantage of the second 6 months of this year, so now's the time to do it. But yeah, Miguel, any final things?
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be live every single day. There's going to be a video between me and Charlie's channel. We'll both be streaming. We're going to be doing Moon Gang very soon. We're doing a meetup very soon here in Miami, and we're going to be live every day. But as soon as the course sales stop, we are going to be off of YouTube for the entire month. We're going to be gone for a whole month, because we're teaching you guys. We literally stop YouTubing to make sure that we're 100% full attention, to make sure that we teach you guys from A to Z, to make sure that you guys actually know what's going on and you can't get scammed. One of the best things about taking the course is that people can tell how not to shit on the caller for a second, but when he said 2008, you knew right away. Right. Our guys knew right away, like, fuck, Bitcoin was in 2009. And only the most technical, dorky nerds that were part of a small email list in cryptography were even able to buy it. Not even buy it. They were just giving each other. They were creating it with like laptops. You really couldn't even purchase it until late 2010, and it wasn't until 2011 when the poker sites started using, like Poker Stars and all these other sites started using it. That's why a lot of poker people have Bitcoin, because they were using it, because the poker sites were all getting hammered.
Tether back then.
Yeah. So there was no tether back then. So the poker sites were all using Bitcoin as a way to pay people off for gambling and stuff. So that's why there's a huge gambling base and meme coin base, because we went from like tech guys, libertarians, to like poker, and then Silk Road, and then eventually an evangelist, and then we went into 2017 and onwards.
There was a time.
So there's a history.
There was a time where Bitcoin was literally only for criminals and scammers and shit.
Yeah.
Now it's more mainstream, but
exactly.
I remember that. It was almost exclusively used for the dark web. Cool. I think that's it.
We got 2 chats.
Oh, two chats. Up to 6 figures due to Pulse Chain, altcoins. Any young guy out there looking for a come up, study Pulse Chain and pump tires. Dollar Cost Crypto and Cultivate Crypto. What are your R8 score coin predictions, short term and long term?
Oh, yeah, Richard Hart.
Yeah, so basically, basically looking at the coin, it essentially has one large pump every year, and maybe one minor one every year, basically. So I would at least say, like, if I was being like short term bearish, it's just going to go back up to its SAC phase. Basically, we're looking at about a 3 to 4x, and as long as it doesn't get sold off too much, and maybe Richard starts streaming a little more, and then there's a lot of things happening in the background, we can finally try to get back to the all-time highs. But I would imagine, because there's still some large players trying to exit, I would imagine that maybe we can get 2 times SAC, and then we really run in either late 25 or we run in 26 hard, and that'll probably be at the top there. So Yeah, usually Pulsing is kind of the last or the first to pump.
Yeah, and we have like on a few different ecosystems like this, we have entire webinars dedicated to it to answer those types of things. So we'll give you guys more in the course too.
Yeah, if you're paying attention, you can make money in anything.
Yep.
Thanks for listening, Charlie and Miguel, aka Jay and Solid Bomb.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll be
great.
back
I love it.
with some after hours here in about it's 9:53 now Eastern Standard. I think we're gonna
10:30?
probably start around 10:30ish.
Yeah.
So Chris isn't here yet, which I guess is a good sign. So we'll start setting up for the show, guys. We got Jake Shields and John Zherka. They're gonna both be on the pod tonight. It's gonna be fucking awesome. So we got a big after hours plan for y'all, man. Make sure to like the video and tune in tonight. Zherka and Shields are both in the house, man. So it's gonna be a good time. We'll catch you guys.
Peace.
Oh, Chris just walked
Get
in.
in the course, you guys.
Awesome. Get in the course soon, I guess.
Yeah,
Get in
facts.
there, man. While you guys can, it's open for a couple of days. Peace.